Sure thing. Mr. Zugami,
Here.
Mr. Maloney,
Here.
and Mr. Helgeson.
Here.
And Jablonski and Jordan are excused today.
Okay. Announcements and statements from the audience. Jim.
Good afternoon, Jim Penson, 532 Arrow Street, Weston. Thank you for the opportunity to address the Oversight Board today. I've made this body aware in the past of deceptive and negligent practices by the Village of Weston in regard to failing to properly notice Mount Bay Metro meetings and agendas. Today is yet another example of this. As of this morning, there was no agenda posted on the Village of Weston's website nor on their community noticing board located at 4747 Camp Phillips Road. It is clear that transparency and state statute are not of interest to those tasked with the responsibility of carrying out those duties. I can almost understand a one-time mistake, but regular occurrences are representative of a pattern of unacceptable behavior. I would encourage the village administrator and president to exercise leadership qualities and correct this unlawful practice immediately and take whatever corrective action required to prevent it from continuing. Conversely, the Village of Rothschild does have this meeting properly noticed in accordance with Wisconsin guidelines. I have subscribed to their notifications, as it is a much more reliable and trusted source than that of Weston. Thank you for that. Earlier this week, there was action taken by the Village of Weston Board to support the financial borrow of $4.5 million for the new Mountain Bay Metro building. This has caused quite a stir on local media and social media outlets. Tons of misinformation is swirling by not only residents, but those physically sitting on the Board of Trustees at Weston. How is this possible? I would like to refer back to my opening statement where I mentioned meeting notices and agendas not being posted. Posting these things is required 24 hours prior to the meeting. That is the bare minimum. However, we aren't even meeting that minimum standard here. If the intent is to truly start to build trust and confidence from the constituents that you are making decisions on behalf of, we need to do better. Just the bare minimum isn't going to be enough. I would ask that this body strongly consider making an effort to get information out to the public. Post the recordings of the oversight meeting videos so they can be seen. Make social media posts, make press releases, and keep the respective village boards informed weekly or monthly about what's going on. It is my understanding that Rothschild is already doing this in some capacity, and that the funding for a new building has been discussed by their village board over a period of time and not just something that popped up all of a sudden in one meeting. Tell the story of why a new building is necessary. Explain the current conditions and how no facility currently in existence in Weston or Rothschild has the capacity to properly support police department operations. Prove the Oversight Board has done their homework and demonstrate why there's a real need for this project. Show how we have taken the shine, the obligatory overspending, which is automatically built into every public project, we've taken that all out of. This is not a second garage hall driven by CUNY architects and irresponsible spending decisions. This is a purpose-centered, efficient, middle-of-the-road, cost-effective bill which will be an asset to the area for 50 years or more. This is not another $3 million Band-Aid on a dilapidated beer cooler, which will need another few million bucks thrown at it in a few years. It is absolutely necessary and the most fiscally responsible path forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Any others on Zoom that other than Mark? Seeing none. Agenda item number 3, minutes of a previous meeting. Oversight Board meeting minutes of December 18th, 2025. Any changes, corrections, additions that you see? Mark?
Nope, I don't see nothing.
Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Pushed by Maloney, second by Zagami. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Agenda item number 4, budget to actual. Chief?
I think all the bills are in for 25. There may be 1 or 2 stragglers out there on credit cards, but I don't think that there's much out there on that. And I think if you look at the bottom of that, it looks like we're 371,022 in the good for the 2025 year. So
Yes. Very good.
feel solid with our budget and I feel solid moving into the future. And so we still want to be cost effective on everything we do. And at least we're starting to build a fund balance in there. So I feel good about that. So
Yes.
some questions on the budget.
Just to add and clarify, the January payrolls for 26 have been put back. Elizabeth and I kind of busted our butts a lot yesterday to make sure we could have this as up to date and accurate as possible for you guys. So the bottom line, yes, is pretty close. I think the next agenda item may be one that's put back to 25. She just has a couple credit card ones. Otherwise, for the bottom number of 371,022, they do break out into their respective funds, and I'll just read those off really quick. So general fund is 324,258 and 29 cents. The DARE fund will end in 25,678.74. And the K-9 fund will end in $21,085 flat. So that makes up the total of the bottom line because they're all combined in what is in the packet.
Very good. Any questions for Chief Hunt or Melanie?
None for me.
I had
Oh.
asked, did we pay, is Bolt paid in full or are we holding some of that back?
I think all that I know of is the
We got an agenda item coming up on that.
should
Yeah.
possibly an additional.
Yeah.
That would be the largest outstanding item that there is out there.
Very good.
That wouldn't be Bolt, that's the architect.
Everything goes to Bolt, right?
It's not for Bolt services, it's only for HTG, correct?
So are Bolt services paid in full?
As of
All
now,
project
yes.
costs except for the next item.
Okay.
Good. Agenda item number 5, discussion and possible action regarding change order request with HTG. Chief?
So in December, it was right around the time we had the Oversight board meeting and I didn't have time to talk to anybody on it. We got a change order in the amount of $48,000. It's $35,000 for architectural, $3,000 for structural, and then an MEP engineering fee of $10,000. Me and Husheng had a conversation with them on Tuesday, I think it was. And on Tuesday, we wanted them to break it out and explain this to us a little bit. So some of the $35,000 is the changes that came about for different building regulations, because they have to do changes on that. The $3,000 or $10,000 was for if we go out and don't use Bolt, it's going to take the project $10,000 more to get everything ready to go out for a build design versus if we use Bolt as a CM, and that's where that $10,000 is. If we used Bolt, am I understanding that right, Yusheng?
Right.
That we wouldn't pay the $10,000.
Right.
But if we go out, then we got to pay the $10,000 because there's more forms and paperwork they have to get ready for it to go out for bid. We weren't happy about it. There was, but we're kind of in a situation right now that during the conversation, it was, is there any more fees associated with this? And the answer they said is no. But I think we should have something, if the board approves this, that says this is our final payment to them and this is what we expect out of that. And I don't want to see any more fees out of this. I didn't think we were going to have these. And some of it was a change of the building because there's alternate A and alternate B on the garage because we didn't know what was going to happen with the total cost of the building. So we wanted those alternates in there so that if we have to pull something away from the building, that we can do that to save money on it. So that changed the design a little bit. That was some of those fees that are in there. But we're kind of stuck on this a little bit. And we had a nice discussion about it. And I think after that, we kind of feel like there ain't much we can do with this. They're going to hold all the documents until we pay the fees. And they said now it pushed us back a month. So the soonest they can get everything done is completion by the end of March.
They're supposed to give us a schedule. I asked for a schedule, give us a
Right,
schedule
right,
all the way to awarding the contract.
right.
Bolt's going to put that schedule together. And also, he has to come to the meeting for during the construction too.
Mhm.
And part of that 10,000 also applied to that.
We discussed this in the last 2 meetings.
We did, but I wanted to bring it to oversight here for a
Right.
vote on it. And I wanted some clarification and we just didn't have time to sit down and really talk to him about it because this was before the last meeting, but I didn't have enough time to prepare on it. And we sat down with HTG and Bolt to ask them what is really happening here and what's all involved with this. So
You'd be looking for a motion to approve the 48,000 as the final payment to HTG. And how much of that 48,000 would be paid to HTG? Just the 38,000 plus the 3, holding the 10 back?
we actually have been paying Bolt and Bolt has been paying HTG.
Okay.
If the oversight board has to make a decision in the future here, and I wish Jablonski was here because he's very good at this, are we going to hire a CM for the project? If we are we going to hire Bolt? If we hire Bolt, we're going to save $10,000. If we don't hire Bolt and we do a build design on our own and like Jablonski or somebody else help manage that or however we're going to do that, then we'd have to pay the $10,000 for the extra documents it's going to take for that because then HTG is doing all that prep work and giving us all the documents to go out for bid. If it goes through Bolt, then Bolt is going to end up doing all the documents for the bid.
Mm-hmm. So any other questions for Chief?
Part of our, I apologize.
That's all right.
Part of our agreement with Bolt though was the general trades and construction bid package development that would be issued to us. So how does that factor into if we've already compensated them and that part of our agreement with them was that they would take us through bid development?
Because what happened is the building had grown and changed. So one of them is the floor plan and the revisions to it. That was some of it because they had to do more drawings to it and the size got bigger. And we talked about that with Jablonski and it's a percentage of the floor plan size. That was one of them. And now this new state of Wisconsin code came out. I had talked to Tim Schmidt, who used to be our rep from Bolt. He's working for a different company. He said this new state code has played havoc with everybody and has increased cost on every building project, and it came in effect after January 1st. So that's some of the problem that's here is we weren't completed before that. And some of this we're kind of at the mercy of, and I don't like to say that because I don't want to pay any more money. I'm good, but I don't know what else to do.
Well, the phase 2 is the time he should supposed to give, we talk about that to them. They're supposed to give us a set up the plan and spec, bidding document, everything should be ready there. But he's not because he's saying he has to go back to the state, redo his plan and resubmit it to the state, submit it to the state for approval. So that's the extra cost one. It is extra cost. We can tell them it's not a business. You should keep your eyes on the state and process and see what's going on, but it doesn't go that far.
Mark, you have any questions for?
No, I'm good. This also handles the MPI portion too, correct?
It does.
Okay. I'm ready. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second,
Motion by Maloney, second by Zagami. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Agenda item number 6, discussion and possible action regarding new attorney representative for the Oversight Board. Chief?
Nick Flanagan was the attorney for the Oversight Board. He notified us that he is no longer able to represent us, and he gave us until middle of January, I think, here. I've called numerous attorneys. One of them that did respond back to me was Lee Taroni, used to work with Vanderwall. He is willing to take us on as a client. The other one is Mike Winter. He's out of Anigal. Mike Winter does have other municipal entities that he represents. Winter Law Firm also helps us in municipal court. If there's ever a conflict of interest, his law office has been taking our cases and billing us independently on that. I'm independent. Sometimes it's nice to have a law firm that's outside our area and doesn't have any connections. Both of them are able to take us on. Both of them are only going to bill on hourly rate. If we never call them, we have no bill. There's no retainer. Taroni is at $240 an hour. And Winter is at 250 an hour. Both of them, again, no retainer. If we don't use them, there's no cost. If we do need them, there's a cost on the hourly rate.
How many,
Go ahead, Dan, I'm sorry.
how many attorneys are in the Winter firm?
Two for sure. I don't think it's big. And Tironi is with a small firm too. He's with Dempsey Law Office.
Right, right. I'm familiar with Lee Tironi. He was with Shane Vanderwall. We worked with him, quite closely. And he actually did all the work. I would have no problem with Lee Tironi, none at all. I think he'd do a marvelous job.
He has done work.
And he's local.
He has done work for the Village of Rothschild in the past
Yep.
as well.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what everybody else thinks.
I'm okay with either one.
Yep. I'll make a motion that we hire Lee Tironi as our oversight board representative for attorney.
We have a second.
I'll second that. Is he local here or is?
Yes.
No, he's local.
Mhm.
Yes, he is.
He lives in Cronawetter, as a matter of fact.
Correct.
And Dempsey is up here in Wausau.
Motion by Maloney, second by Zagami. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Agenda item number 7, discussion and possible action regarding the Humane Society of Marathon County invoice. Nick or Chief?
I'll take it. So we currently have a contract with Marathon County Humane Society. We were just over $20,000 for the year. That included Schofield, Weston, the town of Weston, and Rothschild. However, we were set for non-dogs up to 110 animals. Last year we had an overage. This is the first year that besides Rothschild, any of the other municipalities had a place to take animals. You guys were able to take them there the year before?
We paid 18.5. Yes, we did for our non-dog stray contract.
Just for Weston?
Just for West.
Okay. So we ended up with an overage here. We had 156. The bill is $9,200. Before I pay the bill, I wanted to run it through Oversight. I did get a credit from 2024 in the amount of $70 because we were under at that point. And the new contract for 26 is $20,280. It was supposed to be $20,350. When I talked to Lisa from the Humane Society, I told her, I really don't want to rewrite the contract. We had a 5-year contract with her. And I didn't know if this is a fluke that all of a sudden, Schofield and all of us together, and you just don't know if enough animals got trapped that year. Is it always going to be that way? Instead of opening that contract and rewriting it, I just said, I'd rather run it through one more year and just see where we're at. But on the other hand, I'm on the hook for $9,200.
I think it's important to get the history, and and I think we're doing a much better job at this with the Mountain Bay Metro than it was in the past. So I'm fine with that.
Okay,
Yes,
we have a motion.
I move. You pay $9,200.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion by Zagami, second by Maloney. All those in favor signify.
Do you know what the animals were?
They were everything from rabbits, the chickens, the lizards, cats.
Okay, there wasn't like 15 of them were bunnies from one house.
Some of them were, I think some of them were rabbits,
Okay.
but some of them are kittens the same way. A whole litter could go in and
Yes,
we could have 12 animals at one crack.
that was
Jamie?
just was there a one situation that,
Blew it out of
Yeah.
proportion.
Yeah.
All those in
Ja-
favor signify by saying aye.
I think
Aye.
Motion carried.
Mark had something.
Mark, you can go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead.
I mean, I know you lost 15 rabbits, Jamie, but I didn't realize. I thought you said 16. So I'm sorry.
one must have got lost on the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Agenda item number 8, discussion of possible action regarding police day-to-day activities and quarterly report. Nick?
So we don't have our last quarterly report or annual report done. We're still working on those. A couple other updates. So we had 2 retirements. So Kevin Ostrowski retired and Tom Durden retired. We also swore in Alex Millhouse. That's how you pronounce it. And he started the police academy on Monday. So he's still, it's a conditional offer of employment. He's going to pull off until he passes the police academy. We also received 4 AEDs that were ordered. We received them this afternoon. So we now have 9 total AEDs in service.
Good. Any questions or discussion for Nick?
Nope, all
Mark?
good. All good. Thank you.
We need a motion. on this.
No.
Okay, that's what I figured. Very good. Thank you, Nick. Agenda item number 9, announcements and statements from the Oversight Board. Mark or Shane?
No, for me, just thank you for accommodating with my surgery. I appreciate that. Thank you all.
Good, good. Seeing none. Set time, date, and agenda items to discuss at next meeting. Do you know the exact date?
If there were to be the third Thursday in February, we're looking at the 19th, unless you wanted the fourth one, that would be the 26th.
Everybody okay with the 19th at 3:30?
Yep, that's good for me.
Okay.
Hushain?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Agenda item number 11. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion by Zagami, second by Maloney. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you. Stay warm.
You bet.
So